We're ready, Jonathan. We're going to kick it off with Volticons taking on Avalanche. I think the biggest thing is, of course, Volticons picked up Guerrilla Tactics, who were already a massive name and a massive team in EU this offseason, and now they're under a sponsorship. I cannot wait to see these guys finally get the opportunity to perform under an org name.
Yeah, listen, like it's always good to see a team that you're just like, you're rooting for them. You're like, yes, here we go. They finally make the big leagues. And then an organization comes in and says, hey, want some money? I mean, we'll sponsor you. Here you go. Get into this. And then boom, they're picked up. I mean, sure, there's a whole bunch of other stuff in there, but like it is amazing to see how like far players that we have seen come. It's like seeing your kid grow up and go off to college. It's like it's a tearjerker.
It really is, and I love how they posted on social media that whilst they're under the name of Volticons, they still love and believe in the banana hunters of Guerrilla Tactics. And there's such a great group of people playing this game. They're so fun to watch. They're so fun to cast. Even their social medias are funny to look at. So I absolutely love the fact that we're getting such a good spotlight on EU this year, chat. And that's one of the things that these leagues do, is it brings a bigger spotlight to the individual players and individual teams because of the fact that you get to see them officially play week in, week out, rather than just one big, huge tournament that happens every couple of months.
Yeah, exactly. And to see like again, like it's awesome to see that as well, because like we got more action at the end of the month too. Like week two is or week two is just like it's not that far, but it looks like we're in the game, Tano. Here we go. Volticons, your purple team. Avalanche, your orange team.
We finally get to have a look at what Pokemon were picked. Looking at, we don't get the ban phase, of course. We'll see the bans at the end, but Suicune is let through. Hooper already going for an invade here on the side of Volticons. And is that a Pikachu, an OG Pikachu rather than Raichu in this game?
Oh, that would be cool if it is. I'll tell you that right now. Oh my goodness. Pikachu, it is! No Raichu going back to the season one. Look at him rocking that cute little hoodie.
It's actually my favorite, one of my favorite holowares in this game. I've not taken it off since I got it for Pikachu. It's adorable, man. With the cap as well. I'm so happy with it. Fizzy looking to find the KO, but they do get back. Now, this is dangerous. Snow is on Mimikyu. Snow was one of the standout EU players last year for Gen 5, and they're on Mimikyu here. This is dangerous for Avalanche.
Absolutely. Mimikyu is a very powerful Pokemon, able to dive onto those back lines there. That Hoopa's got to watch out. That Decidueye has to watch out. That is something we also got to talk about. There's a Decidueye in this game. Tano, I think it's going to be sniped, but what are the odds? Ohide's going to get to see the good old-fashioned brawl and Razor Disc.
Bro, one day we will get it, buddy. The more we cast, the more our chances go up. But we're already kicking it off by being quite aggressive on both sides here. Avalanche Quento here, still on that slow poke phase. Magikarp looking for Gyarados, finally gets it as Tibby evolves, goes back home for some HP, and they want to get back in this and get really stuck in looking for some KOs.
The Hoopa portal's really pivotal, able to get a lot of HP back, but now they're looking to escape. Another one goes down, and we got Gyarados going back to the home pad, but they're not done. They're coming back into the fray, but they get frozen by the Suicune.
That is the power of Suicune, but that's the power of the Dragon Pokemon, just taking them out. But they do get taken out again by Suicune. Double KO from Avalanche. Slowbro finally on the scene, and they are evening out the point difference that Volticons gave themselves in the early stages.
Yeah, but because they're allowing them to take that point differential, they're opting to take that experience lead. Decidueye, Blastoise, hitting the field, Mimikyu level 8, popping off, taking down Palmont, going for the Slowbro, because they're like, listen, man, I gotta have my seconds.
Yeah, this is brutal as well. I mean, I gotta say, the Mega Mewtwo X was pulling up a fight until a snipe in the face from the Spirit Shackle comes through from Chari King, ripping the Regidrago now as Voltigons are looking to get a good advantage, but recognizes that's rotating to the top lane where Avalanche are. They want to come down here and take this objective as quick as they can.
Yeah, as a slow bro, you gotta wonder what's your target. Decidueye is an obvious one, could be a great one to just dive into the back, grab it with your slow beam. But this Mimikyu is absolutely wreaking havoc on Avalanche. They're just going down and shutting down, but they are able to grab the Regieleki. They're looking for a push, but there we go! Volticons comes back! Another KO for the Mimikyu, and they're saying you're not going anywhere because you gotta play with me.
Oh, Oni back to the spawn room right now. Volticons really aggressive with it, allowing the Lecky to go into their own T1 so that they can get stacks galore and points galore in this pad. It's left on one, buddy. That's going to be a huge overcap if they can sneak that 40 in. But Mega Mewtwo X is ready to defend.
Yeah, they're there. They're watching. The eyes are everywhere. They're looking for it there. But Palmot's looking to try to get its level 9. Slowbro being there. Experience share does not help. The new experience buffs just mean Slowbro did take a little bit of experience away from them on that. But hey, bro's got to get to level 9 too somehow. So when you look at that, that's another way you got to look at these teams. How do you get this experience there? But Volticons looking like they want to push into this bottom tier 1 pad.
I'm liking how Volticons are playing this game right now. They're trying to control both lanes here. Hooper sticking with that Gyarados in their pocket. Decidueye sticking with Fizzy down here on the Blastoise. Slowbro's doing one heck of a defense on this pad, buddy. Quento is getting pushed out at the moment. Sneaking in at 38 is going to be Chari King. They may sacrifice themselves for it as they back on up, but it's going to be the Hydra Typhoon that gives them the space to try and break through. Slowbro is hunting for them right now. Chari King may have got off a little bit lightly here. Thunderstorm's going to come through, pulling out a Pikachu Unite move. For that reason, is huge for Volticons.
Man, Blastoise got the KO. Decidueye still got away. There was so much value gained from Volticons from this play. Avalanche has to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate what they want to do in this game. 225, 273, and a Registeel in the pocket of Volticons. Avalanche has got to find a way to come back because Gyarados is not letting up on this pressure.
Nah, this is good from Volticons. They need to continue with that aggression. And I gotta say, if you have done enough to annoy your opposition so much that they're gonna use their Unite move just to try and have a chance to catch you, you know you're playing this game well. I think it's been very difficult for them to get hold of Chari King on that Decidueye with the massive front line that they have on the side of Volticons. So it's all in their favor right now, Jonathan, but it's these kind of plays that can be risky. Really getting aggressive with the confidence that you've built. You can give away experience. Hooper Portal in the top lane.
Yeah, there we go. The Regieleki is able to connect. Points are going to be able to rein in, but only if you can get to the pad. The Dragon Current comes up with a slow beam, connects. Blastoise able to tank it like the beast he is as Mimikyu comes down and devours Avalanche.
Fizzy, you are a thing of beauty. That Blastoise play has been off the charts this game, mate. The Hydra Typhoons, the Serves, they were so weak at that moment, frozen in the endless ice spikes, but they still come out on top. This is a team playing together well and playing together effectively, but you cannot count Avalanche out. They have a brilliant squad themselves. Oni is a demon in that carry role. They just need to find experience as quick as possible.
Yeah, you get that experience, you get those levels. Unite charge is very important, but you have to remember too, they do have a Slowbro. Slowbro is a very powerful mechanic in its Unite move. That slow beam, able to completely shut down a Pokemon. You find the right target, find the right pick, you could easily set out Volticons and set them back.
And as we know, it is a Kyogre map, which means there is always the opportunity to be able to bounce back with those new buffs. With the Kyogre, with the Groudon, we've seen many games of people losing quite significantly coming into that objective and being able to win it. Taking the Registeel here, though, is absolutely massive for Volticons, but Fizzy's left up in the top lane by themselves. Hooper has to rotate up, sends the rest of the team. Is this going to be the fight 30 seconds before the objective?
I think there has to be. Avalanche has to look for a way to stop this Regieleki rip. It's in a win condition going straight to their home pad. They cannot let them have this there. But there's a lot of AP being chunked. Palmot's able to dive in, and there's the Hoopa portal comes in. Palmot's down, and it's 3 down for Avalanche.
That's huge. They did manage to pick up the Gyarados, which is going to be good for them, but that Lecky has been taken. That is trunching down this lane to that home pad goal. The objective comes onto the pad. When there's a Kyogre, the game is not over, but when nobody can get to it, buddy, that is difficult. They're going to allow the Lecky to go in as Avalanche looks to see if they can get onto this Kyogre, looking for some KOs here. A massive surf is going to come through, and just like that, they have eliminated Avalanche's front line. It's just Oni and Slowbro left here as Pikachu comes back from the home pad. They're trying to do what they can, but Play With Me gets let loose. Oni sent back to Nurse Joy. Volticons taking the control of this objective.
Yeah, there goes the Rings Unbound there as we're going to be collapsing there onto that Slowbro 1 HP to tree. Kyogre is now giving their blessing to the side of Volticons. The Great Blue Titan themselves is playing for them, but Avalanche still in this. We have 2 KOs down on them there, but 3 members still up. A Pikachu Thunderstorm still in the pocket. This could be a way to go, but 513 to 73, it is looking bleak.
This is really a good showing from Volticons. They have taken control of this game realistically since the sort of 6-minute mark. They have been instrumental, and I think it is the fact that, one, you've got Snow that is able to just go out there all over Fire Sky Ruins and control any area of this map that they want. You can allow them to go and do that because you have a Blastoise protecting your Decidueye and a Hooper providing support for your Gyarados. It's that double wombo combo with one player that can just roam around the map that has been too difficult for Avalanche to break through.
Yeah, but Avalanche is not giving up. They're congregating down on the tier 1 pad here there. Fizzy now moving down to try to connect with their team there as Palmont goes deep into the flex zone. 13 seconds, this game is all but over, but they want to get as many points in as possible. Pad those stats, get the attacks up, burn everything, because 4 seconds out, Volticons will take game number 1.
How Juxu managed to stay alive then is crazy on that Pikachu, bro. They were surrounded by everyone. Pikachu's so squishy. That was a brilliant effort from Volticons, though. Avalanche, though, did not give up, looking to get that experience and bounce back into that game. Just lost too much of that ground. Daddy Leon with 20 assists on the Hooper, Fizzy 11 on that Blastoise, just shows that combo worked, buddy. Chari King getting the KOs, Tibby being that front line to take damage as well. 60k for their team. That is a well-rehearsed comp that they've got together there.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw how quickly they were able to jump onto any targets that the Blastoise was able to surf away. We picked away that Mewtwo X so early, and we just collapsed. We just said, hey, there it is. Blastoise says, look at me, look at me, look at me. And Decidueye says, I see you, bro. Snipe on the way.
I wonder if I didn't get a chance to see that. Production, can you just let us know what was banned in that game? If you can see, we wanna have the opportunity to see the bans. I think we can at the lobby, but I think I just missed it, to be honest. Because I recognize that they had Mega Gyarados in that game as well as Suicune and Jonathan. So I want to know what the bans were. Of course, these teams have played against each other all off season in multiple tournaments. INGAGE has hosted, other people have hosted huge tournaments as well. So they've played against each other so much. They know the opposition they're coming up against, which is going to affect their bans, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen crazy Pokemon banned out, like Gengar on a targeted player. We've seen Scyther banned out. Cinderaces get banned out on target plays. So it's interesting to see, because these ban phases will definitely show us how well each team has researched the other, but also what Pokemon they really don't want to play up against. Because, I mean, we didn't see a Blissey that game. Maybe that hit the ban list there. We didn't see... what is it? A Mega Mewtwo Y. Maybe they're like a little scared of that. Maybe they're like, nah, get that out of here. Char X still on the field as well. Not as strong as it used to be, but still a massive threat.
Yeah, I did take note that, of course, we had a Hooper there, and like we're used to seeing the Blissies. Fables recently have been coming out as well. I think, what was that production? Sorry, I just missed you there. But yeah, the Hooper, we see, I think Blissey probably was going to be banned there. We got a replay. Let's bring up the replay and have a nosy at it, buddy. Will this tell us bans? No, it doesn't. But here we go. Let's have a nosy at the replay, because honestly, at this point, it felt like Volticons just committed to being aggressive. Let that Lecky go in. and it was just their game from this point forward.
Yeah, they didn't care about that. They're like, listen, they can go in because we're keeping the pressure on. We take down, put massive points in the top. We're going to take out the bottom. They got another Lecky in as well. It just like, you know what? If the cards are going to fall in our favor, let's full send this. Go right in, break the T2 pad. And they're doing an excellent job of just this. But again, that forces Avalanche into the top there. They give up that Registeel. They have to play for the Regilecki. But Fizzy was just too strong up top, able to hold the line.
I gotta say, Fizzy was just instrumental in this game, bro. Being able to hold the line up there for even just a moment against all 5 of the opposition is pretty decent. I mean, yeah, Blastoise, great crowd control, huge HP pull, but you're against 5 opponents on your own. So great effort by Fizzy, as we saw a lot of control exuded by them and just domination from Volticons from the 5-minute forward. But Avalanche is a brilliant team. We've mentioned this, Jonathan. They have multiple times bounced back from being behind throughout this offseason. So I'm excited to see how they do that here. Do they pick the map or do they pick to go first on the pick and ban?
Yes, that is the crucial thing going forward. You got to take in, if you're going to pick the map, you got to take about the objectives into consideration. Great Quasar gives you a huge shield, increases damage, and gives you unstoppable scoring while you have that shield. Kyogre, a massive attack boost as well, also gives you an enhanced score speed, but it's not unstoppable. Kyogre goes a little bit further than what Groudon does. No attack boost, constant HP buff, but instead also disables the healing and the shields of the opponent's pads. So if you feel like you can take one of these objectives and push with one of those buffs, that's what you got to take into account there. But you also need to take into account, what if the opponent gets it? How can we defend best against this?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I expect Rayquaza not to be played until the final third map, because if we do end up going to a game 3, because I know a lot of people feel that at least when it comes down to Groudon and Kyogre, it's a lot more balanced, buddy. It's not unstoppable scoring. You can fight back if the other team gets that locked in, which is, 100% how it should be. We have the bans. Thank you so much, production. They've given us a screenshot, buddy. So, bro, we have Mega Mewtwo Y banned out. Huge, brilliant attacker at the moment. That's probably why we saw that Pikachu, although I don't know why you wouldn't go for Raichu. Blaziken banned out and Glaceon banned out by Volticons. I think considering that they were going really heavy on the crowd control and frontline there to protect their carries, that is really understandable. Avalanche, they ban out Vaporeon, the Mega Lucario, and Miraidon. So a lot of ranged attackers copping a lot of bans there, Jonathan.
Yeah, listen, those bans are a little bit similar to me because I've seen some teams also in the NA region go with the same trio of bans that Avalanche went through. Vaporeon's a strong healer, could be able to create space with Muddy Water. Miraidon is just this oppressive force with the backline there. And when you got a Mimikyu like Volticons does, that is a dangerous Pokemon to have on your team, but also a dangerous Pokemon to leave up. So you just want it gone rather than pick it there. So these are staple bans that I am actually on board with, and I can understand why they went this route.
What is interesting, though, is that Avalanche decided not to have a healer per se. They've got some brilliant self-sustain. They've got the Suicune and the Slowbro, and of course the Mewtwo X. But outside of that, they don't have a healer, whereas they do on the side of Daddy Leon. They've got the Hooper. So that's an interesting strategy to take for a team. You've got to really rely on your micro to be able to keep yourself in that fight, because you are not going to be getting any healing from any of your team.
No, like I said, Blissey was up. That's got one of the greatest healing moves in the game with Soft Boiled. Alcremie was up, easily the most broken healing move to recover, although a little bit harder to aim. Eldegoss even still gets a lot of love. And of course, the bulky lover themselves, the Pokemon that loves when you run tanks and all-rounders, Clefable. Clefable's always there, ready to lend that helping hand, ready to lend some of that moonlight.
Oh, God, I can't believe that was the first game of the league, bro. This is so hype. I love it. Yeah, we're already seeing some Pokemon that we don't typically see that much of. I mean, Palmot has fallen off a little bit recently. I know Oni's a brilliant player on the Palmot, so no wonder they picked it up. But, the Empoleons, the Palmots, we don't see much of them anymore. It's usually just Mega City in these games.
Yeah, Mega City galore. But again, Mega Lucario was banned out, and I guess Mega Gyarados came in, and we had the Mega Mewtwo, but that's really it. We didn't see a whole lot going on. We didn't see a whole lot being done in terms of the Mega department, other than those two Pokemon. So that's a really interesting pivot because these are super powerful Pokemon, but teams are saying we don't need them. We can win without them. And to see some of these more staple bands, again, when you have some of these power picks on your team, sometimes you only need one to make a strategy come together. Again, look at the Blastoise. When you have that synergy, being able to be like, you know what, look at me, Snipe going in, and we just collapse on it, that is great to see.
Yeah, no, that we do. I'm just waiting for some confirmation here on what Pokemon are actually allowed to be played. I think everything but Meowth is allowed, but we'll get some confirmation on that before I tell you that is fact, not fiction. But I believe. Oh, okay. So we think Umbreon, Charizard White, and Meowth has been confirmed as not being allowed to play. So I was wondering, why did we not have any Charizard Y there, Jonathan? Because of course it's open. I would expect to see it, but it's not allowed to be played. So I'm excited for some Meowth action when eventually we get Meowth being allowed to be played in these tournaments.
Listen, Meowth is another Pokemon that's in my wheelhouse. You think the Sableye propaganda be real? Well, when it comes there, Meowth is going into Hyde's little pocket and being like, sitting there with Sableye. It's going to be chaos incarnate. And I think that's just what we needed to bring out more unique gameplay, more unique styles, more disruption, more chaos onto the map. I mean, you got a Pokemon that's able to steal your battle item. That's crazy.
It really, really is. As we kick off the next game here. Oh, we've got Cherry King with the full heal on the Darkrai. Looks like it could be a support Darkrai there. We've got Mime with Fizzy on it, and the Clefable is taking stage here for Volticons.
Yeah, their Darkrai's looking really strong there, but Avalanche, look at that. We got a Delphox, Leafeon for some strong early game. We pick away the Blastoise, said, no, now it's our time to shine. Buzzwole coming in to be the big, strong muscle they need at the front there, and to pair it into a lane with an Eldegoss, that is going to be one heck of a lane that Volticons has to go into.
One of the best top lane wombo combos there with Buzzwole and Eldegoss, and Oni on the Leafeon just gets me incredibly excited. I love when we get to see Oni on speedsters, Leafeon being one of their favorite. Delphox on the field as well is interesting. Will we see the fire spin? Will we go for the flame charge here? Because you do want quite a bit of maneuverability, and it does allow you to be basically off cooldown on that move. As soon as you hit level 12, bro, it's like a 2-second cooldown. As soon as it stopped casting, you are ready to use it again.
Basically, yeah, but Fire Spin goes really strong into this comp. That's a lot of frontline with the Mewtwo, the Blaziken, that Mr. Mime, and the Clefable, who has to be up front. Delphox also has built-in anti-healing into its Unite move, that fanciful fireworks. So if you throw that incense on it, that cursed incense, that's every hit is just going to be felt by Volticons.
All right, bring it back to us while we wait for this one to kick off. Of course, they are still having issues with the game closing down at the moment, chat. Do bear with us. I know they're currently working on fixing that. I know they've attempted a fix so far, but I know some people are still struggling with it. So we'll try and do the best that we can to make sure that it's on screen. But people, it's technical issues. It happens. It's not an issue on the player side or our side. It's an issue on the actual game side. So we'll do the best that we can, bro. But it's typical, isn't it, when you are in that mindset of, right, we're going in. This is the game. We need to win this to beat the Avalanche for the first set of the league, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, you've got 5 more minutes to wait while I load back in.
Yeah, listen, that's actually a crucial time that both teams could be using. Like, sure, we're getting a crash, it's a little bit of disruption, but that's more time to start talking about your strategies, finalize what your draft wants to be. Think about what it is you want to take in. Maybe there's something you left off the table. Maybe there was something that you briefly mentioned, your team wasn't quite aware of, so it gives you a little bit more time to elaborate on it. So while it does throw off a little bit of tempo, because I know some people are like, I'm ready, I'm pumped, send me in, boss. It does give a little bit of time for these players to back up and be like, okay, what can we do?
Exactly that. Let's just wait and see if we're ready to go on in. Can we have I'm just reading a little bit of chat here while we wait. So thank you all for being here on the stream. Kuro, can we have crash counts on the stream layouts? That would be... We should have been doing that since it was an issue, right? I feel like I'd love to see how many times we have to deal with that in a tournament, because it has been pretty brutal, bro.
Oh my gosh. I know in NA, some of our tournaments over here was doing that. And I think for one of them, the crash count went up to about 18 for about a 5-hour tournament from start to finish.
Wow.
It was brutal. But speaking of brutal, second game 2 coming in, and they're looking to bring it all up onto the table. Volticons in match point position. Avalanche ready to just come in and say, we're going to dominate and steamroll.
That is a tough bottom lane for them to have, though. They do, of course, have the Squirtle, the Emperor Squirtle, which is so strong in lane, but it's all about that Fennekin. So I like this invade that we're seeing from Avalanche to really put some more pressure on Volticons.
Yeah, there we go, though. The Clefairy's already going for some quick early stacks as well. They might be running that special attack specs. That's going to increase that healing there. But look at the pressure they're able to exert. You know that Draining Kiss there is going to be a lot of huge damage. You get a lot of finishers. You're able to get that. And Clefable is online in 45 seconds.
That is absolutely huge for Volticons. They're picking up where they left off, buddy. Coming straight out of the gates with great aggression. Eldegoss hasn't managed to get much out of it yet. Combusken is on the field, and it feels like not much pressure coming Volticon's way yet.
Not a whole lot yet, but they're still early on. 20 points left on the field there. The 850 birds are now spawning. Volticons is in that position to kidnap them. There we go. We take the Swablu's off Batarius there with the Combusken Blaze Kick. Now we're going to be looking for a fight there from Avalanche, but we're not able to get it because look at the mine that says confusion. Get away!
Bro, I'm obsessed with Fizzy's play at the moment. We saw Oni looking to dive straight in as soon as that 850s came, but Fizzy was ready for it, confused them and pushed them away, and that stopped any kind of aggression that Avalanche could pull out there. So now they want to get some revenge by going into the central area and really bringing it onto this Combusken.
Yeah, Oni and Nax combo there going straight in. They're going to be trying to take down the Combusken, but they're able to make it to the T2. But look at that. Elder Goths is no longer Goths the floor. A real character has hit the field. Level 4 leveled up and Paul and Puff ready to go.
Oh, Quento gets a good revenge KO as well down here in the lane. Cherokeen's back to the spawn room right now, bringing the pressure, trying to see if they can take this away, but Snow perfectly pushes it into the bush, but it's a little bit out, and Nax is going to be able to find that instead, while Volticons are looking to get a couple more points in. Avalanche still a fat donut on the board right now.
Look at that Clefable. Oh my gosh, they were lasting for so long, even with the Leafeon tapping it and being like, listen, you gotta go down. I'm a speedster. Damage is my thing. Ah!
Regidrago's on the field here. It's rotating down into the bottom lane. Neither team really showing attention to it. Seems like they want to try and control these 720s. Volticons takes that. Snow is here. Blaziken ready to kick them into the Pokemon Center, but Quento pushes them away while Avalanche tries to hold on down in this bottom lane.
Look at that Clefable. They just keep going in. 5 points, 3 points. They don't care. They're just going to score it. They're going to be up in your face. This is like a tank play. They had to take 3 people to come and take it down. Meanwhile, Blaziken, Darkrai looking for Regilecki. Leafeon's just not even going to take care of it. They're just saying, you know what? I'm just going to go score, take this opportunity to get a stack in.
Oh, 100%. You got to recognize when you ain't going to be able to get that objective. Instead, they go and get something out of it by scoring. Quento here, though. The Fists of Fury comes in from Snow, and they're sent back to Nurse Joy. The Lecky's only been ripped by half. Unfortunately, Joxo's struggling because they don't quite have the damage on that Delphox yet. They need more levels. They don't have the fanciful fireworks either. So Volticon still with a brilliant advantage in this game.
Yeah, Registeel in the top lane, though. That is going to be a powerful attack, special attack buff for the team that's able to take it there. Volticons is collapsing on it. Avalanche late to the party, but with the Registeel's look at that HP. They're going in. They're trying Emperor two-step going in. Who got the last hit? It was the Blaziken before going down.
Oh, it's so difficult to secure against the Blaziken. Really good patience from them, despite all that action coming their way to hold strong and take that. That was a brilliant effort from Oni coming in with the Emerald two-step and looking to see if they could take that objective. We saw the Fanciful Fireworks used there as well, Jonathan. That really cut off the retreat for Volticons, and they just clean up with KOs all day long. They get the Registrago as well. Avalanche are well and truly in the lead of this game now.
Yeah, a much stronger performance from them this time around. This draft, this fan base went more in their favor there. But Fizzy with the clutch but barrier, able to stop the Blastoise from able to surf in and stop those scores there. But Fizzy's also able to help get those points in. There we go. There's another Mr. Mime going to be able to stop. And Blastoise just said, you know what? Enough of your shenanigans.
Yeah, rightly so. And we're going to say we do have the Flame Charge coming out from Delphox here, so that's going to be great for the late game. Going to be very hard to catch, and it's going to bring a lot of damage over to the side of Volticons. Hydro Typhoon's going to come on in here, but it's going to be Oni that locks it down. Emerald two-step yet again, level 11 onto the Leafeon now, as we see that Regieleki is sprinting to the T2 here. Will be defended by Volticons, but this is as close to the game as we've seen yet.
Yeah, 172 to 155, but they're not holding off yet. Volticons is looking to put a little bit of pressure so they take this Reggie Rock. They want the experience. They want to get it. Where's that Blaziken? Blaziken's right here, ready to rip. They're going for the secure, but it's the Delphox able to get it. Fanciful Fireworks, Mystic Fire, too strong. Blaziken could not keep up.
Now 184 to 172, bro. This game, the lead has been flip-flopping for the entirety of it, as Volticons are going to put some pressure on this T1 pad. We see them going in with the worst nightmare. They managed to find the Delphox here. Holding strong is Avalanche as they wipe out Volticons one by one. It's Buzzwole with the power of the swole arms that finds the KOs, but Volticons are back, and now we have to see Avalanche retreat to their pad.
They gotta be careful. All it takes is a small disturbance for an avalanche to come at you and just completely steamroll you, burying you as well. Kyogre has hit the field now, and now we're gonna be looking to see who's got the power position. Mr. Mime is gone for a few more seconds.
And of course, the game has ended for everybody else, so that's why it's going really quick at the moment. Kyogre is on the field right now. We have Volticons being a little bit patient with the Avalanche as well. They know that they're currently in the lead, though it's very close, so they're not going to be certain of how much at the moment. The push here, trying to see if they can take down Snow. Oni goes in with the Emerald two-step. Blaziken back to the spawn room. Showtime, says Mr. Mime. Hydro Typhoon will be pulled out here as well, but Mime, Fizzy has got two against the wall, and it's going to be the confusion alongside Darkrai that finds that double, and now Volticons have control of this final objective.
They're able to easily go for the secure on the Kyogre. They're starting to rip, so when Blaziken comes back, all they got to do is pop the overheat and secure, and there we go. Blastoise going in with the surf there, looking for a pivot into that Hydro Pump, but we're going in for the overheat. We're going for the secure. Blaziken gets it, just too strong. Delphox not able to go for the 2 for 2.
Not easy to defend this here either. Their pads will not be giving them any healing. The Swole Slam coming out with Oni as well, looking for the KO. They take down one, but Blaziken refuses to budge. The kicks come through. Fizzy with the assistance. It's a double KO for Mr. Mime as they go and score plenty of points. Hundo Burgers galore right here. Fanciful Fireworks well timed by Joxo, but nobody else is here to give them the assistance. There's not much else they can do as Volticons look to take the second game in their first set.
This is huge for Volticons. They'll come in a huge 2-0, but Avalanche, what a strong showing from game number 2. Oh my gosh, I legitimately thought they had that. They had such a good advantage.
That was. What a way to bounce back by Avalanche, by the way. That was a hotly contested second game, buddy. Volticons had a lot of control in that first game. From that mid-game, they had Fire Sky Ruins locked down. Avalanche did not allow them to do that in that second stage. Quento was brilliant. Oni coming in with some great Unite moves as well. It made it a lot harder for Volticons to exert the control that they were looking to do.
Yeah, but again, like Fizzy was just so strong there. You give them a Blastoise, they're setting up the KOs. You put them on the Mr. Mime, they're creating space,
Mm.
taking down one, two, holding the line. That is what Fizzy does. They hold the line, and it's such a powerful, powerful thing to have on your team.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm very impressed with Fizzy's play. I mean, I say that they're a brilliant player anyway. They always have been, bro. Looking at the bans there, so the Volticons, they banned out the Mega Gyarados this time, stuck with the Glaceon, and then the Vaporeon was banned out by Volticons rather than the opposition. Avalanche went for Mewtwo Y, the Mega Lucario, and Miraidon still.
It's okay. So they kept the Mega Lucario, got the Miraidon out. They didn't like those Pokemon, but they pivoted to take the Mewtwo Y ban themselves. There's like, you know what? We don't want this in the game because we're not going to be able to take it. We want something else that's got a little bit more damage friendly. And here we go. We got another replay, Tano.
Yeah, I love this. Thank you so much, production. As we have a nosy at this, we get to see how it was so back and forth in this game, Jonathan. It was literally like a pendulum between who was taking the lead in this one.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And you can see here, Avalanche going for some massive scores, bringing that back up. The Regieleki barreling down towards their pad there, but we do have that defense there. And coming up to this Blaziken here, they have the opportunity. The Emerald two-step, all the tools in the book were used expertly, but the Blaziken clutch secure.
Yeah, it's kind of just recognizing that they were going to come in and look for those KOs. So charge it up nice and early while it's still got a big HP pool so that you can take the KO after that Unite move has been used. It's good recognition from these players, but a good bounce back from Avalanche as they do manage to bring it very close. They do a really good pressure here, finding some important KOs and recognizing when Volticons was building momentum on that rebound to back off back to their goal.
Yeah, and that's important as well. And we come into this, Emerald two-step comes in, we look for the KO and the Blaziken, we get it. Massive Pokemon down, the secure. The Blastoise comes in with the Hydro Typhoon, but that Mr. Mime, that confusion into the wall, set the Darkrai up to grab 2 quick KOs. Unfortunately, Avalanche wasn't able to clutch it up, and they were still coming back, and they weren't able to put the defense up.
Wow, what a first set we had there, Jonathan. It is Volticons that takes it with a 2-0 victory, but honestly, that could have gone to game 3. Avalanche did bounce back strong. They'll be checking the VODs of this so that they can come back next week. Well, it's not next week, week 2, which will be near the end of the month, and really bring it to them because they need to make sure that they get some wins under the belt. You do not want to start a league by going at 0-2.
No, you don't. You definitely don't. But a good job, Volticons, taking this to 1-0 there for a 2-0 victory for their first point in the league. You want that early position. Great job, Avalanche, on the bounce back there. But I think we're going to a break now, Tano. So we will see you guys on the flip side as we get to this next set.